Hi friends! So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the PlayStation E3 conference. And that's the only one I'm going to talk about because it's the only one I actually saw live, kind of. Um, I went to this event called the PlayStation Experience, which was basically watching a live stream of the E3 presentation in a movie theater. So that was pretty awesome. And I got a really cool poster that has Uncharted on one side, and on the other side has a bunch of other stuff. Um, I guess they're making a Mad Max game because it's on the poster, but I didn't see it during the conference. Hmm. Oh well. Yeah, so, uh, what they talked about really surprised me. There were a lot of games that I didn't expect. They announced a bunch of new IPs and they announced that they would return to some old stuff like continuing series or whatever, and they started out strong. For those of you who don't know, I'm a huge fan of Shadow of the Colossus and Ico, and the same company who made those games is making a game called The Last Guardian, and that was like the first game that they showed. And I was like, oh my god, it looks so beautiful, because like you could totally tell it was their style, and um, all of their games are very quiet and atmospheric, and you're usually just alone with one partner, be it animal or human. In the second game, it was a girl, but um, in the first game, you just had a horse, and in this one, it looks like you get some sort of giant griffin pet. um, and they had like puzzle aspects and stuff. So yeah, I'm really excited for that one because I love their past games. So I have high hopes for that company. Hopefully that game makes a lot of money because lots of people in the theater I was in were very excited when they showed that trailer, so that makes me very hopeful. Um, if it sells well, then the company can do more stuff, and I love them, so keep doing what you're doing. The second game they showed off was a new franchise, I guess. It's basically, it looks like a post-apocalyptic survivalist kind of thing, but it took place kind of in like nature took over, so it's not like Fallout where everything's like desolate. It's more like vibrant forest, plants everywhere. But the major difference is that they have like robot animals, which I was like, yes, robots. Um, and it was really cool. You play as this girl, and you're like hunting these robot animals. Um, it looked really sweet. Like it showed some combat, it showed some stealth stuff where you have to hide in like the tall grass from some of the animals. Um, it was neat. Sorry about that little cut there. So yeah, the game I was talking about that's like a survivalist kind of thing, it's called Horizon, and it has a second part of the title, but I forget what it's called. It's like Horizon something Dawn, I think. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Um, it's not gonna come out for a while though, so you will probably hear the title before now and then, so don't worry about it. Um, let's see. What else really wowed me? I'll get to the stuff I didn't like later. um, oh yeah, there's like this universe simulation game called No Man's Sky, which is on this poster. Basically, you fly around like a giant sandbox type game that's space, essentially. And you go discover new planets, and if there's life on that planet, you can discover new species and stuff. And then you upload it, and I guess it's attached to the PlayStation Network because, like, everyone else who travels to that planet will see that you discovered that planet, and they'll see the stuff that you discovered on there, which is pretty cool. Um, if you want to get your PlayStation Network name out there, I guess. Yeah, that was an interesting presentation. He didn't have much time. He only had a couple minutes, so he showed us that, and then he showed us a little bit of space combat, which was like just what you'd expect, like Star Wars type thing. Like, he started out in the middle of two warring factions, and he's like, well, you can choose to take sides if you want, and me, I'm not really into that. I'm just, I'd stay out of it and just go explore, because that's basically what the game is about. You go and explore, and oh my god, the game is huge. Like, if you watch the PlayStation presentation, he, like, zooms out and looks at all of the planets, and it's like, wow. Well, not all the planets, you just see the stars because you're, like, way out. But, it's a pretty big game. You have lots to explore, so you could put as many hours into it as you want, and eventually you will discover something, because there's way too many planets for you to discover in, like, one sitting. So, yeah, that game also impressed me. I'm not sure I would play it too often, just because it's, like, more of an exploration game than it is like a, I don't know, like, I'm into puzzle platformers like The Last Guardian, which is why I was, like, really excited for it. Um, I like exploration games too, just, I don't know, it's kind of like Spore in a way, I suppose. And I like Spore, so I'll give it a chance. Um, I have, like, a list on my phone of other stuff. Yeah, they didn't show a trailer for Ratchet and Clank, which I kind of wanted, but they showed a trailer for that earlier in the week, so, I kind of already saw the gameplay footage from that, and it looks cool. So, I'm excited for that. Um, they are coming out with new stuff, Arkham Knight Scarecrow missions, which is, like, basically they wanted to add more of Scarecrow's, like, Nightmare World-ish kind of stuff. So, that looked really interesting. Like, the trailer that they showed during the event didn't really show much, but in the after show, they showed a lot more. So, not sure why that is, but, I mean, some people left before the after show. Whatever. I stayed. Um, Alright, suppose I'll get into stuff I didn't like and then get back to the stuff that I did like, because that's kind of how the event went for me. The beginning really wowed me. Then the middle, I was just like, eh, and then the ending was like, oh, yay, again. So, it kind of started going downhill for me when they showed off this game called Firewatch. Um, I could tell that the game was very stylistic. It kind of looked like a cartoon in a way, which I'm fine with because I like stuff like that, like Zelda Wind Waker, I really like. But the gameplay didn't look very interesting to me, and the voice acting, it didn't seem like dramatic enough. Cause, like, there's this one part, it's like, are you in your tower? No. And then the voice actress is just like, then who is? Excuse me, you need to be a little bit more dramatic because that's supposed to be a creepy moment. I don't know. Maybe I'm just nitpicking, but the game didn't really look interesting to me anyway, because you're basically just wandering around the woods and, like, picking up clues, I guess, because it's kind of a mystery. Maybe that's why I don't like it. I don't really like mysteries in general. Hmm. Sorry for those of you who write, like, mystery novels and stuff. They're just not my cup of tea. I'm more into fantasy and sci-fi and a little bit of horror. Sorry. um, so yeah, Firewatch was meh for me. Um, like you only really get an axe, and I don't see what it has to do with watching fire. Okay, moving on. Um, yeah, they talked about a DLC expansion pack for Destiny. I don't have Destiny, so I don't really care that much about it. I've watched people stream Destiny. Um, Basically, and this was funny because they talked about it during the after show, Destiny doesn't have much of a storyline. And then in the after show, they were like, well, we added this expansion pack because we wanted to get people into a deeper story. And it's like, uh, duh. So, even I went with Op Zero Films and Do Knight to this event, and Do Knight's the one who played Destiny, and he's sitting next to me like, where was all this when the game came out? It's pretty funny. We like joked through the entire thing. Even with the good games, we were like joking because there was this glitch that happened later on that I'm going to tell you about. But the thing I like the least, Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I know some people are excited for it, but Call of Duty is just not my cup of tea, so I don't really have much to say on it. Moving on to more stuff I liked. Star Wars Battlefront looks cool. But before they got to that, they talked about Disney Infinity. I don't really care about that either. Basically, they just were saying, oh yeah, we're adding the Star Wars characters into Disney Infinity because Disney owns Star Wars now, so hip hip hurrah, we're making a 3.0 version to add all these characters. Which means when Christmas rolls around, there's going to be a lot of disgruntled parents who bought the 2.0 version, and they're going to have to buy the 3.0 version to get the Star Wars characters because Disney does not make their figures backwards compatible. Okay, so Star Wars Battlefront. It was kind of funny. The guy who was like talking before the presentation of it, he had a bit of an accent, so instead of saying Luke Skywalker, he said Luke Skywater, and everyone in the theater was like, um, so that was funny. But Star Wars Battlefront looks really cool. They had a bunch of combat footage, and they kept it pretty accurate to the movie because it seems like the stormtroopers weren't hitting anybody at all. Okay, yeah, they got a hit or two in, but it could have been that the person playing for the presentation was just really good at dodging. But yeah, the visuals were really great because apparently they got like those panoramic like cameras to circle around like the props from a movie and get all of the angles so that they could put it onto a 3D model for the game. So the details are top notch. Um, all of the visuals are nice in that the lighting is really cool for each of the um, battle areas. There's a section in the game where you can control an AT-AT and just wreck everyone's day. That is awesome. um, what else to talk about for that? Obviously, you can choose your sides. You can be a rebel or you can be for the Empire. I will probably be for the Empire most of the time. Because honestly, controlling an AT-AT sounds amazing, and I want to do it often. um, and plus, I mean, you can like talk to Darth Vader and stuff if you are on the Empire side, which is cool. Um, I'm not sure, but I think Boba Fett might have a section in the game. If so, I will be very excited for that because he is my favorite character. Um, Not much more to say on that except lots of hype for Star Wars Battlefront. I think it's Battlefront. I think that's the title. Pretty sure. But if I'm wrong, don't quote me on it. um, so that game looks really cool. Let's see what else was there. I know I want to talk about this one game, but I just want to check and make sure. Oh, yes, there's like this project they're working on that kind of reminds me of Project Spark for Xbox. It's like about dreams. Um, Basically, it looks like a really cool game for artists and animators to play because you can like draw things and you can like use puppeteering to make them move. It's kind of like more of an animation than it is a video game, but you can like view other people's dreams and create your own, that kind of thing. So it is a lot like Project Spark, but different in many ways. Because since you can like free draw, it's not as limited to getting like pre-rendered creatures or textures. Kind of hard to explain. Um, but it looks interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna get it just because I really suck at drawing, so might not be the best idea for me. Um, let's see what else. Oh yeah, the Kickstarter. I'm not gonna spoil what game it's for, just in case there's like longtime fans who haven't watched the conference yet, because you will be very excited, because lots of people were very excited about it. But basically, this IP that didn't have a third game for like years and years is finally getting a third game because the Kickstarter went up last night during the conference, and it was funded entirely in one day. So that automatically tells you how popular the IP is, and you should check out the conference and see what the game is because you will be excited. And it looks really good so far. Like they had a little bit of a like not really a trailer, it was just like a very short 10-second scene, I guess, showing what the entire game would look like if it was fully funded, which it is, so it's gonna happen anyway. And it looks good, so yeah. Anything else to talk about before I get to the funny part? Doesn't look like it, so I'll talk about it. Wait, I should probably talk about Street Fighter V, even though everyone probably already knows about it. Because, I mean, Street Fighter V. Dear Knight's worried that they're not going to include Ken, but I'm pretty sure they're going to include Ken. I mean, he's one of the popular characters, so probably. Here's what it looks like on the poster. So that's probably what the cover art is going to look like. They were talking about how they made a couple changes to the characters in the post-show. They didn't really talk about it very much during the conference, but, you know, time constraints. So anyway, I will get to the funny part now. They were showing Uncharted 4, and you could tell that it was a live demo because had this really funny glitch where after the opening cutscene, um, Nathan couldn't walk. He was just stuck in one place, and they were trying to fix it. It was like that for like 10 to 15 seconds, and everyone in the audience was like, just do it! Get on with it! And then they reloaded it, so we had to watch the opening cutscene again. And then when it got to the part where it froze last time, he walked, and everyone in the audience was like so hyped. They were like, yeah! So, that was really funny. And other than that, the rest of the presentation of Uncharted was pretty interesting. They had a vehicle driving section, which I've heard some things about from the Uncharted series. Apparently, the vehicles don't drive that well because there's like a jet ski portion and it controls like crap. So hopefully they fix that for the Jeep. I think it was a Jeep or a truck of some kind. But yeah, they had to like drive away from this truck that was shooting at them, and it was pretty funny because like he was knocking over all of the fruit stands, which is to be expected. But then they're saying like, just don't hit anybody, and like you can kind of see it like toward the end. He does manage to run over somebody. So whoops. Hopefully he will respawn. Yeah, so that was pretty funny, and there's some quick time events. So overall it looks pretty good. You're running on rooftops, I guess. You're driving, you have quick time events, there is some combat because these guys are shooting at you, so you have to try to shoot them back before they kill you. The guy who was playing at the time did take a couple hits, but nothing too bad. So yeah, overall the conference really wowed me, other than a few things that I wasn't really interested in. But it was only really like 4 things. Maybe 5 if you count like the Scarecrow missions, because I need to play all of the Arkham Batman games before I can consider getting that. Um, so yeah, I just need to catch up on playing games, I guess. Anyway, that's all I have to say about the PlayStation conference, and I really enjoyed seeing it in the theater. I got the poster, I got some codes, which I'm not going to hold up because then you guys will see the codes and I don't want you to use them. So yeah, I think this one's okay. It's like a sticker. Ha! I was right. It is Star Wars Battlefront. This doesn't have a code on it though, so I'm safe. But yeah, it looks really cool. The lanyard that I picked out to get into the event also was for Star Wars Battlefront, so you can tell I'm really excited for that game. Anyway, that's all I have left to say about it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Bye!